died on an empty stomach. And because it happened that way, the theory is the biggest mafia rub-out of the decade took place with considerable help from inside the dead mobster's family. 6 shell casings were on the pavement of East 46th Street, right next to the body of Paul Castellano Sr., the top mafiosi in the United States.
Away, Castellano's driver and bodyguard, 45-year-old Thomas Bellotti.
Times with automatic weapons. Questions?
Where were they hit?
They were hit in the head and in the
Tonight,
body.
police would not say if Castellano was on his way to dinner at the restaurant outside which he was gunned down, though Castellano was known to visit many of the city's better eateries. More interesting to detectives is how the hit team knew to wait for Castellano near the corner of 46th and 3rd.
Shit, John, this is bigger than killing the fucking president.
Hey, you think I was putting this earth to make them rich and me poor? We're gonna do a hit now. We're gonna do a real hit. And that fuck Castellano never even come say goodbye.
It was back in August of 2020 that Carlton Weekly, who went by the rapper name FBG Duck. Today, 5 members of a faction of the Gangster Disciples have been indicted for his murder.
Hey, it's your boy Max Payne, back at y'all with another one. And today, we're going to be talking about the similarities between the hit placed on FBG Duck and Paul Castellano. And in my opinion, why the entire O Block, including Lil Durk, is going to go down for a very, very, very long time. I know you must have heard that saying, history repeats itself. And whenever something happens, you can always look back in history and find a parallel, like a situation that's similar, and see the outcome. And 9 times out of 10, it's the same outcome. You know what I'm saying? So we're just going to delve into these both of these hits and these murders and see the outcomes and what they were. And I'm just going to basically give my prediction on what's going to happen with O Block and Lil Durk. So let's get right into it. First, we're going to take a look at the Paul Castellano hit, and then I'm going to show you how it compares to the hit on FBG Duck, and then how I think O Block is going to go down for a very, very long time, if not for life. And let's get into it. Paul Castellano hit refers to the assassination of Paul Castellano, a prominent figure in the Gambino crime family, and it happened on December 16th, 1985. Castellano was the boss of the Gambino crime family, one of the 5 major mafia families in New York. He was killed outside of Sparks Steakhouse in Manhattan. So keep that embedded in your brain. The location he was killed, okay? This is a very prominent neighborhood in New York City. People pay a lot of money to live there. People pay a shitload of taxes. And that's one of the key things on why I think O Block is going down. So the hit was orchestrated by John Gotti, who was a high-ranking member of the Gambino crime family at the time. After Castellano's assassination, Gotti assumed control of the Gambino crime family and became its new boss. This event played a pivotal role in shaping the dynamics of organized crime in New York City. Later on, John Gotti would be tried many, many times by the FBI, and he was eventually convicted of racketeering and the murder of Paul Castellano, and he was sent to prison for life, where he died in 2002. Now we're going to talk about the hit on FBG Duck, and we're going to point out some of the similarities between his assassination and Paul Castellano's assassination. BG Duck, whose real name was Carlton D. Weekly, was a rapper from Chicago, known for his association with the Flyboy Gang music group. He was tragically killed in a shooting on August 4th, 2020 in the Gold Coast neighborhood of Chicago. FBG Duck's death was a result of a drive-by shooting. He and 2 others were targeted while shopping on a busy street. FBG Duck was fatally shot, and the incident gained significant attention due to its prominence in the Chicago rap scene. His murder added to the ongoing violence and tension within Chicago's hip-hop community and brought further attention to the broader issue of gun violence in the city. The case remains a tragic event in the world of hip-hop and the highlighted dangers that some of the artists face in their communities. Giving you a background on both of the murders, we're going to compare the neighborhoods that the murders happened. Okay, so Paul Castellano was murdered in Midtown East. Midtown East is a neighborhood located in the eastern part of Manhattan in New York City. It is a bustling and essential area known for its mix of commercial, residential, and cultural attractions. So some of the attractions you'll see at Midtown East is like Grand Central Terminal, the United Nations headquarters, Rockefeller Center, Fifth Avenue, St. Patrick's Cathedral, the Chrysler Building, Museum of Modern Arts, Bryant Park, and luxury hotels and dining. So people pay a shitload of money to live in Midtown East, and some of the tenants for these stores pay a shitload of rent, money, and taxes to the government, and that's what makes it a prominent area. And when this hit was carried out, it was looked at as so brazen. Like, why would they kill somebody in a neighborhood like this, you know, that's so populated with wealthy people? So that was like a slap in the face to the FBI and the United States government. And that's why they stopped at nothing to get John Gotti convicted and his whole team convicted. And they put them away for a very, very long time. And that's exactly what's going to happen to O Block. This video is for the people that don't know. I know a lot of people are going to come in the comments and say, hey, this is old news and old information. But, you know, you got people watching this case from different parts of the country, I mean the world, like Australia, and each of the 7 continents. I guarantee you there are people paying attention to this case. So that's why I'm just recapping what's already known to a lot of Americans, but not to other people in other countries, right? So FBG Duck was killed in the Gold Coast. The Gold Coast is a historic and affluent neighborhood located on the north side of Chicago, Illinois. Known for its opulent mansions, upscale shopping, and proximity to Lake Michigan, the Gold Coast has a rich history and remains one of the city's most prestigious and desirable residential neighborhoods. Here are some of the key points about the Gold Coast. So they killed FBG Duck in one of the most wealthy neighborhoods in America, not only in Chicago, right? So you have luxury residences there, Lake Michigan and Oak Street Beach, shopping and dining, historic districts, nearby attractions, nightlife and entertainment, cultural institutions. And it's just like, look at the similarities between Midtown East and the Gold Coast and Chicago. So when you carry out a hit in a prominent neighborhood like that, the FBI is just going to go full on Super Saiyan on whoever the fuck did it. So that plays a key part in why you have all these O Block members indicted. And trust me, that Lil Durk indictment is coming soon. And I know to some people it's blasphemous to compare Lil Durk to John Gotti, but trust me, these are different times, and these are powerful people in each of their communities. And I believe they're going to go down exactly the same way. I believe Lil Durk is going to go to prison for a very, very long time, just like John Gotti did. Because once you play with these folks in these rich neighborhoods, trust me, like, the gloves are off. I don't care how much money you have. The government is coming after that ass. In the documents that were just recently released in the indictment of the O Block members that assassinated FBG Duck, Lil Durk is listed as one of the high-ranking members of O Block. So, that ain't looking good for him. So it reads here, Turpin asked someone that he was speaking to on the phone, what's D-Thing number? And went on to tell the person to whom Turpin was speaking to have D-Thing called Turpin. Multiple witnesses are expected to testify that D-Thing, Deontay Banks Jr., the older brother of individual E, who is Lil Durk, undeniably, right? Because D-Thing is the older brother of Durk, and multiple witnesses will testify that individual E is a high-ranking Black Disciple member, okay? And he supplies them with guns, with money, with, you know, once you supply a gang with money, you're supplying them with ammunition to carry out hits and sell drugs and do whatever illegal activities they're doing in the streets. So I'm 100% sure that Rico's coming for Lil Durk. And trust me, because they were so brazen about the murder of FB, they're going to send that motherfucker to jail for a long, long, long time. So please leave your comments and leave your opinions in the comment section. Be respectful. Please correct me if I made any mistakes. Like I said, I know a lot of you guys know about this shit, but there's people that don't follow this. There's people that don't know about Lil Durk, but they know about Paul Castellano, and history always repeats itself. So I just think that, you know, this was an interesting parallel, you know, these two assassinations and the outcome of the Paul Castellano hit. I think it's going to be the same outcome for Lil Durk, okay? It's your boy, Max Payne, back at y'all with another one. You know, this was just my opinions on the murder of FBG Duck and the parallels to Paul Castellano and what I think is going to happen moving forward. Leave your comments in the comment section below, please. Like I said before, be respectful, and I'll be back at y'all with another one. Hopefully I could cover this case and keep providing you guys with updates. All right, so until the next one, peace.